Alright, here we have Aeon's End Legacy, all set up. About to begin our first chapter with an introduction. Chapter 1, Introduction. On the morning of your ordeal, you awake to your barracks door slamming open. Brahma and Mist enter, lifting a wounded breachmate Zaxos from the stretcher to one of the empty beds. You arrogant fool, Brahma chides. Zaxos clutches his injured side. We need the power, he groans. I didn't know. You have doomed us all, Mist snaps, pressing 2 fingers against her temple, trying to concentrate. Outside, alarm bells ring as an earthquake shakes the very foundation of the building. In the distance, you hear explosions. Mist looks grave. Hit it here. Zaxos, face white with terror, moans. No. Brahma and Mist leave Zaxos as they try to defend Gravehold, and you follow, knowing you must do whatever you can to help. You emerge into chaos. Gravehold is burning and screams fill the air. Above you, a breach swirls, the largest you have ever seen, expelling a colossal orb of blades. Fireballs pelt the Nameless, but its minions are plentiful. You can only watch as one mage is torn to pieces by a bladed warrior. As the flames push back the darkness, you see the hulking form of your foe descending, surrounded by its ruthless army. Brahma staggers away from the fray, coughing and cradling a freshly wounded arm. Desmodia and Malister are holding the line, but we are overwhelmed. You have much to learn, but there is no time to spare. Gather your wits and hold off these creatures however you can. Focus on the minions to protect the breach mages. You must work together. Give them the openings they need and let us focus on the Nameless. Each of you are a link in the chain. Do not break. Alright, so let it be said, spoilers ahead. You know what you're getting yourselves into if you watch it. We've got our 2 breach mages. We got Breach Mage Jim and assistant to the Breach Mage Dwight. We're all set up with our starting market turn order deck. We were told to do the setup for Maelstrom. Place the assist deck without shuffling it next to this mat face down. Draw the top of the Nemesis card and place it into play. We begin with the Doom Crawler. Persistent. Any player suffers 1 damage, so not overwhelming here at first, but just annoying enough. And 4 damage is going to be decently hard enough for this first little go. Okay, so that was the additional setup rules for Maelstrom. So now we look at the additional gameplay rules. When assists resolve, draw the top of the card of the assist deck and resolve it, then place it in a discard deck. It is different than the Nemesis discard. When the game ends, resolve the last card of the assist deck if able, then continue reading the front of the Legacy deck 03. Okay. Alright, we're all set up. I'm going to set Maelstrom to 99. Very strong. Alright, yeah, so we've got a task ahead of us. Alright. So we've created our turn order deck of Jim, Dwight, and the Nemesis. All right, first turn. Starting out with that Nemesis. So Dwight's going to take the first damage from our Doom Crawler. And now let's draw and see what happens next. Gravehold is under siege. As apprentices, you are not prepared, but you must fight. If you're playing with, I'm playing with 2 players, discard the top 4 cards of the Nemesis deck. So I'm going to discard the top 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Place this card on the Nemesis discard pile, then draw a new Nemesis card. That's a lot of stuff going on there, but I like it. It adjusts how long this game is for the number of players. Smart mechanic. Alright, here you go. Unleash. So when he unleashes, Gravehold suffers 3. Okay, and then we get our first assist. So I'm going to discard this, play this assist. Mist's Fury. The battle rages on, and the air is filled with ash, clouding your vision. Suddenly Mist wisps a lava tendril from the fog, making the Nemesis hard enough, striking the Nemesis hard enough to crack the outer shell. Mist deals 10 damage to Maelstrom. Alright, thanks Mist. You're the best. Sweet. So I'm going to guess that's what that deck is. It's going to be taking down Maelstrom for me. Right, that's my guess. So if that's what the assist deck is going to be doing, taking down Maelstrom, then I, as the introduction told me, need to focus on the minions. Okay, we can do that. Alright, that is the end of the Nemesis turn. Who's going next? Dwight, he's going to lead the way. He is going to prep his spark. Okay, and he's got 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. He could open his next one. Yeah, let's just do it. Let's get that breach. Let's get that open. Let's get 2. I guess with doing this, I'm just putting the front work in before I start getting cards that I want into my hand. That might be, I don't know. I'm not too sure. 4 is a tough number. The beginning's tough. You only got 2 spells. You want to obviously naturally get more cards into your hand because that's the fun part of the game, but I think this early on, if I just get these things open, I don't have to spend it on it later. But we'll see if that works. Alright, that's everything. So he draws back up to 5. 2. Let's see whose turn is next. Jimbo. Philly Jim. Alright, he is going to cast. And he's going to do the exact same thing. Let's just open up that second breach. Open up that second breach. Alright, open breach. Alright, and he's going to draw back up to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this hand is going to look exactly like what we just had. 4 crystals and a spark. Which is okay. Alright, now everyone's had a turn. It is Jim's again. So he's going to be able to put 1 damage. The first thing he's going to do is going to, on our Doom Crawler. It's down to 3. He's going to cast this one. And now he's got 4, so he can either take advantage of the Branching Radite, which would give him an extra purchase point every single time he has 2 spells prep, but he's going to need more spells to take advantage of that. This one's going to allow him to focus any player's breach. Any player might prep a spell in hand. Ooh, I like that. Let's get that going. And so this is the Neural Wreath. Okay. So I purchased that one. It goes in my discard. I use these 4 to purchase it. So I discard that. All right, and then I'm going to draw up to 5. Philly Jim's going to draw up to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is going to look very similar to the starting hand. So you do your starting hand basically 3 times before you get anything if you don't buy a card, which is rough. All right, so now it's either Jim or the Nemesis, or Dwight the Nemesis. Okay, so he's going to cast his spell on the Doomcrawler. He's down to 2, and his is going to be set that up, and he's going to get some damage because Dwight, he's going to get that incinerating fist. He wants to cause as much damage as possible. And we discard our crystals that purchased it. Okay. Oh, and we need to draw back up to 5, which I'll do right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and it's going to be the same thing, same starting hand. 3 times. That's rough before you start having. But, I mean, you got to put the work in, right? So this is definitely going to be Nemesis for us. All right, any player suffers 1 damage. Dwight took the first one. Jim will take this one. And then we draw a new card. And we have the Crust Smasher. Not too intimidating sounding, but, still, doing damage. So let's take care of him. Gravehold suffers 2 damage. So it's going to be a damage for Gravehold and for us until I take these minions out. Alright, time to shuffle our turn deck. Alright, let's check our turn order. And it is Jim. He's going to keep hitting away at our Doomcrawler for another point. Okay. And he's going to have that starting hand. So he's definitely going to prep his Spark. He's got 4 crystals. I think he's ready to start being able to do some damage too. Warping Haze. Deal 2 damage if you have 2 or more other prep spells, dealing 1 additional damage. So that's the long game if we want to, when we get all 3 open. That's just 3 straight damage. That's pretty nice. Or another focusing someone else's breach. Well, I'm going to focus someone. Oh, no, I'm just going to help them out. I have enough to do that. Let's get this damage going because we do need to keep the board clear. That's my job. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 to buy it. Okay, and he's going to draw 5. This is the first time he's going to get something new, and that was that Neural Wreath. He's going to be able to focus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And just a whole bunch of crystal. Okay. Let's see whose turn it is next. Jimbo again. He's going to put that finishing touch on that Doomcrawler. So at least we are not going to take damage on the next Nemesis turn. Alright, so I've got these 4. I've gotten my damage. So now I can have multiple spells. So I guess the question I have though first before I proceed is, with this wreath, focus any player's breach. Do I have to pay the cost to do it? Any player may prep a spell in hand. He'll be able to prep that, which will give him 2 damage. That's nice. So focus any breach. I gotta look and see if that is, I pay the cost or I just get to do it. Okay, so we found it. It is free focus. So he's going to definitely free focus Dwight's. Made a cheaper for him. He's going to do that one more time at least. And then any player may prep a spell in hand. He's going to prep his Spark. Okay, and that is Neural Wreath. And then I've got 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 crystal. We're still sitting in that weird spot of what we want. I think I want to do this, so I start getting a little bit more. more money. Okay, so really weird thing. I went to start this new recording, and I waited about 10 minutes in before I realized that I hadn't hit record on the camera. So it was just me talking to myself in the garage instead of at least talking to an iPhone. So instead of going back and trying to remember the order in which my cards were in and what exactly happened, I'm just going to catch up here. We drew 3 cards. We had 3 turns. The Nemesis went. Gravehold lost 2 damage. Player suffered damage. Player discarded gem, and I got an assist, which took Maelstrom down 2 more points. That was the Nemesis turn. Dwight's turn. He bought the Warping Haze because he had 3 left. And I decided not to focus because I was waiting for Jim's Neural Wreath to focus. That was the Dwight turn. And then the last Nemesis turn was the Mantle Augur, which allowed us to assist right away, which got Malister's Boon, which allowed both of us to get a Gravity Node spell, which is going to let us do 4 damage, but we have to discard a card. So now I think definitely my focus is going to be on Ethereal Hand. I'm going to try to get, I don't know how I'm going to get 6, though. I have to get some more purchasing power. I really slowed my deck down by not doing that. So anyways, I was going to shuffle this when I put down the non-recording iPhone and realized that it wasn't recording. So I'm so sorry. That's so unprofessional. But it is what it is. We're at 23 Gravehold. Maelstrom's at 79. Jim and Dwight's deck are pitiful. Their decks are pitiful. So, okay. I'm going to shuffle this up now. Okay, let's take our first turn. It's going to be Dwight. So Dwight can do 3 damage. He is going to finish the Crust Smasher. Can't let Gravehold take 2 damage each time. Okay, so now it's my turn. Down here, he's going to do the Warping Haze, and he's going to do a Spark. I think the question now this comes that question of managing my hand. Do I want to discard? And I need to pay better attention to what's coming up in my deck. I can look at it when it's here. I can't look at it when it's there. So yeah, looking ahead, knowing if I should keep this Spark because I'll have 2 open spots, or if I should discard it to try to get more crystal. I think I'm going to discard it. And I'm going to draw up to 5. Okay, perfect. So now I've got 5. I can buy, I'm 1 short for that marble, but I can at least buy to get 3. That will slowly get me there. I mean, it's going to take a while to be able to make those big purchases, but sticking to that 5 card, I think that's the point of this mechanic of having up to 5 cards. So these 6ers are, you have to get something else to it. So enabling purchase power, I got to figure out how to do that. All right, so I prepped and I discarded and drew. So that's the end of Dwight's turn, and it's Dwight again. So he's going to do 2 if you have 2 or more other prep spells. No, so it's just going to be 3. So I misread that, but 3 is good. On the Mantle Augur, I'll take 3. So that makes focusing that so much more important now and getting it open. All right, and then I'm going to with 5. Well, no, I'm going to with 4, I'm going to buy this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm just going to hold on to this crystal, and I'll draw 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now I drew 4, and now's the time for me to look through here and see what's going to be coming up next. I'm going to get the Gravity Node, so I'm going to want to discard. In 2 turns, I'm going to have that fit, so I'm going to be able to do possibly 4, 7 damage. I'll be able to discard a Spark, probably. Yeah, so it's 3, 4, 5. What an interesting mechanic that you want to think about what cards you want together in your hand. So how many should I discard in order to draw that? It's definitely a heavier mechanic in this game, and you can choose to focus on it, or you could choose not to focus on it. I think I think tactically you'll see more success if you do pay attention to it. If you don't pay attention to it, you're just enjoying the storyline and moving through it. Okay, so it's Nemesis' turn. Gravefold's going to only suffer 1. Okay, so that was good on Dwight for getting rid of that. Now let's draw from the Nemesis deck and see what happens. Power, spend 6. Unleash. The player with the most open breaches suffers 1 damage. So not the worst thing in the world. I don't think I'm going to have 6 to spend to stop it. So, all right, here we go. Next one is Jimbo. Jimbo's got nothing to cast, so he's going to prep both of these. He'll be able to do 4 damage. Be very close to defeating that Mantle Augur. And he's got 3. I think he is going to want to open that, focus that breach. And he's going to draw 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, he's going to be able to focus Dwight's on the next one, which means Dwight will only need 3 to open, and then he'll be able to take care of that Warping Haze. Okay, that's Jim's turn. It could be Jimbo again. So he's going to do 3, 4 damage to the Mantle Augur. He's going to have 1 left. He's going to prep the Spark. He is going to focus any player's breach. Any player prep a spell in hand. Oh, that's nice. So he's going to focus Dwight's? No. Yeah, let's focus mine. It says focus any player's breach, so I'm going to focus mine for free, which means I'm going to be able to open it. That's nice. Any player may prep a spell in hand. That's going to be Dwight. He's going to prep the Warping Haze. He just needs 1 damage on the Mantle Augur to get rid of him. That'd be nice. And then I'm going to use these 3 crystals to open my breach. Nice. Good job, Jim. That felt like a solid one. Did some damage, helped a friend, and opened his last breach. He's fully breached. All right, and we're going to draw for 5. 1, 2, 3. Oh, he doesn't have prep spells. Oh, yeah. Well, maybe he can prep a spell at the beginning of his next turn. 4, the Gravity Node. 5, the Crystal. Okay, so he's going to prep this one. Then he's going to do this because he'll have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I can afford either more purchasing or the Ethereal Hand get Dwight drawn. All right, but that's both of Jim's turns this round. So last one is our Nemesis. Gravehold's going to still suffer 1. And we're going to discard one of these power, and we're going to draw from the Nemesis deck. The Merciless Titan persists. Any player, or the player with the lowest life suffers 1. Shoot, that's pretty harsh. All right, so that's everybody. Let's shuffle up our turn order. All right, let's see who starts off this round. Jim. So Jim is going to cast his Spark to take care of the Mantle Augur. He is going to prep the Gravity Node. And then I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess I could have not done the Spark, but I don't want Gravehold just to lose 1. It's too risky to get 1 additional. Oh, actually, yeah, I'm gonna go backwards. We're not gonna cast that Spark. We want to have 2 in there. We want to have 2 in there in order to take advantage of this. If you have 2 or more prep spells, gain an additional 1. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to buy. Do I want to help him out draw, or do I want to gain 3? I'm going to do this gain 3. And then these go on top. So although Jim's not doing any damage and Gravehold may suffer 1, possibly 2, I think getting that purchasing ability is going to be really nice. Although it's going to take me a while to get there. Drawn 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Let's see. Hopefully it's Dwight. I went over to Dwight like I should just take his turn, but let's let the turn order deck tell us. And it's Jim again. Okay, so he can do this 1 to take care of the auger. That worked out in our favor pretty well, I think. And then we're going to do the gravity node. We're going to discard one of these gems to deal 4 damage. We're going to do 4 damage to the Merciless Titan. Okay. I'm going to play this one. Too bad Dwight didn't have a chance. You know what? I'm going to hold on to this. Jim won't take another turn for 2 of Dwight's. So this is like probably the last chance for him to focus. Yeah, we're going to have to do it. We're going to focus that for free for him so that he can open. Although he doesn't have any spells to cast onto it, so I don't know. But then I'm going to prep my Incinerating Fist and a Spark to do 4 damage on that Merciless Titan in a couple turns. I've got this one, but let's discard because I want to get through. 1, 2, 3. Don't know what's coming because I'm not a very good planner. 4, 5. Oh, lots of purchasing. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. So I could do 6, but I'm probably going to discard because I want to get through it. But it's not going to happen for 4 turns. It's going to be 2 Nemesis and 2 Dwight here. Let's see who goes first. Nemesis. So we can get rid of this. Player with the most opened breaches suffers 1 damage. That's Jim. That's fine. We'll take that. And we got to unleash. So Gravehold's going to suffer 3 damage. Okay, Gravehold's down to 18. Maelstrom's it's still at 79. This is not feeling good. Player with the lowest life suffers 1 damage. That's going to be Dwight. And let's see what's next. Hopefully, assist. Unleash twice. So that's going to be 6 more damage for Gravehold. The player with the fewest opened breaches suffers 2 damage. That's Dwight. So he's down to 4 health. And assist. Okay, what do we get now? Zaxos arrives. Zaxos appears beside you, one hand clutching his wounded side. I can fix this, he yells. He lashes solid black energy from his shadow across Maelstrom's shell. Doubled over with pain, Zaxos stumbles through a breach and vanishes from battle. Zaxos deals 10 damage. Okay, I appreciate the help, Zaxos, but needed a little bit more than just 10. We're falling behind here. All right, that was our Nemesis turn. Dwight's going to go. He's going to do 2 damage to the Merciless Titan, who's down to 4, which the next time Jim goes, he should be able to take her, but we are going to take 1 more damage for sure. So that's that Warping Haze, and he's got 4 crystals. With 4, what can he do? He can't do much. He's going to get another. Do I bog him down? I'm thinking, do I bog him down with another fist just because I can get it? It's 3 damage. It's not bad. I can't get much better damage. I think I'm going to do this, and Jim's going to get that Ethereal Hand and try to move his deck along. So we're going to get the Incinerating Fist with those 4, which means as we bring our deck back. So whatever we bought last or discarded is coming up first. He gets the Gravity Node. That's nice. And the Incinerating Fist. And a Spark. And a Warping Haze. And a Spark. It's all spells. Wow. I don't think I've ever had that in an Aeon's Endgame. I do like that it's Dwight who has all the aggressive cards. For those who don't know, Dwight is a very aggressive character in the NBC show The Office. He's black belt. All right. That was Dwight's turn. He's all ready to start prepping some stuff. But he's got no payment, no coin to focus that breach. All right, so Dwight is going to go again. He's going to prep. He'll prep this one to discard one of the Sparks, and I'll do the Fist too. Those 2.
Okay, we'll save these 3 for later. This will be his discard possibly. I don't know. We'll see what we draw probably, because I hope we're going to get some. Okay, good. That's enough to open the breach, to focus all 3, and that's the one I can discard. So next turn for Dwight will be discard to do that one, do 7 damage, do the opening of that breach, and then do all 3 of those. That will be his next turn. But let's see if we survive, if there's going to be a next turn on this Nemesis. He's going to lose 1 more health. It's down to 3. Okay, now we draw 4. Desmodia's Flare. Immediately assist, draw, and resolve a new Nemesis card. It's got a power of 4. Desmodia does 40 damage. So I've got 4 turns, and he's going to put 40 damage. So if I can get it under 40, or at 40, that means I have to do 29. Whoosh. I haven't done anything, but I'm going to assist right now. Desmodia's plan. The next time you see Desmodia, she is fully glowing. A sparkling pattern seems to lift off her, lighting the rubble around her. Her body is encased in swirling energy as she lifts off the ground. Keep holding, apprentices. My attack is nearly ready. Just a few moments longer. Okay, so I like this. In 4 turns, they're going to do 40, but I don't like that we don't have any immediate help. So it's feeling like 4 turns, maybe there's going to be 2 more assists. That's going to take me down to 49 if I can get 9. So let's aim to try to get about 12 damage on Maelstrom. So maybe I'm going to have to focus on Maelstrom to make sure he's under 40 and just try to survive here. Because he's just going to slowly kill Dwight in 3 turns. Okay. So he's not that big of a threat. Well, I mean, Dwight will be dead in 3 turns. I don't know if I can probably get 12 damage. I'm doing 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I could get 12 damage on Maelstrom. So Dwight will die right before, or be exhausted right before. That's the plan. All right, so that is the end of the turns. Oh, and resolve a new Nemesis card. Did I do that? Yeah, no, I didn't do that. Okay, so we gotta do another one of these. Unleash. Any player suffers 4 damage. Oh gosh, so that's gonna be Gem for sure. And Unleash. Shoot. Okay, now it is the end of the turns. Let's shuffle this up. Okay, let's see whose turn it is. Jim. Okay, he's gonna do all 4 damage to the Merciless Titan. Alright, we've gotten rid of that threat. No more suffering damage for Dwight. Okay. He's got 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he can buy, we want to buy that Ethereal Hand, or maybe we do the Node, just do damage, because we just gotta get damage on him. Okay, we'll discard these. It costs 5 to do that. 3, 4, 5. That leaves me with 2 more. I can't do anything with 2, so I'll just discard down and draw it back up to 5. Now I've got all this purchasing, and I don't want to purchase, I want to attack. Okay, I'll be able to do 4 or 5 damage. That'll be good. On top of whatever Dwight's going to do. Alright. It is a Nemesis. We're going to remove one of these. And we're going to draw. It is Temple Cutter. Immediately assist. Okay. Mist's Inferno. You watch fire streak above your head. You follow the smoky trail back to Mist, perched atop a crumbling building, throwing flame as fast as she can. We've done all we can. Help Desmodia finish off Maelstrom, she commands. Mist deals 15 damage to Maelstrom. That's nice. Okay, 15 damage to Maelstrom. 54 now. We need to get 14 points of damage and survive for 3 turns. Let's see what we can do. And it's going to be any player suffers 2 damage and discards a card in hand. Okay. 11. 11 health. All right. That was a okay Nemesis hands in terms of how Nemesis hands can go. It's now turn for Dwight. He is going to discard this crystal, and he is going to cast 7 damage to Maelstrom. Down to 47. We gotta just get 7 more and have 3 more Nemesis turns. We're gonna cast. Oh, you know what? Actually, he's gonna not discard that crystal, and Jim's gonna help him out and discard a crystal, because Dwight is gonna play that, but he's gonna want to play these 3 to open this one. And cast all 3. 1, 2, 3. So that's going to be 2, 3, 4, 5 damage on Maelstrom. Okay? And then Dwight is going to draw. Oh, sorry. Incinerating Fist goes in the discard. Dwight's going to draw 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So with that 5 and this 3, 4, 5, we should have enough if Dwight can get extra turn. No, he's only gonna get 1 more turn. He's not gonna be able to finish him off. Okay, so it is Dwight. He's doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Obviously, I'm doing that one first, so I can say I've got more than 2 other ones prepped. So it's 3, 4, 5 damage to Maelstrom. 42. I don't know if this is the right strategy. I don't know how much more assist I'm going to get. I know that 40's there. I'm worried about this. Any player suffers 2 damage, so I can survive 1 round of him without getting exhausted. All right, so those were. Oh, and then Dwight is going to prep these 2, and he is going to discard to draw 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna feel like we got a Nemesis chance or a Jim chance. It is the Nemesis. We're gonna remove one of those. Any player suffers 2 damage. We're gonna have Jim suffer 2 damage and discard a card in hand. He's gonna discard this crystal. Okay. And that means we're going to end with Jimbo. Oh, you got to draw a card. Shoot. Immediately assist. Brahma's rally. This is our last stand, Brahma cries out. We need to hold out just a little longer. Weaken Maelstrom enough so Desmodia can deliver the final blow. Your mentor glows for a moment and fades. Suddenly your wounds mend on their own. Any player gains 2 life. Okay, so it's going to probably be Jimbo. He's got the least amount. Yep, I guess. And then power 3. Each player suffers 6 damage. So as long as I get 2 more damage on Maelstrom, this is going to happen first, and we will K him before we take 6 damage. Okay, that's fine. And our last one is then going to be Jim. He's going to prep. I guess he's going to discard this one just so he can try to get spells, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And that is everybody's turn. So let's shuffle up and hope for a good. This might be our last turn going in here. So let's hope for a good shuffle. Okay. This is Dwight. Dwight is going to cast. So I'm in an interesting place. I could use these 2 turns and destroy Temple Cutter and just give myself some breathing room. But I think I have enough damage where I can survive twice as long as nothing else happens. I have to get down to 40. I can't sit above it. So we're going to do... He's going to do an excess amount of damage somewhere. So he's going to do the Warping Haze and drop him down to 39. That's going to be weak enough for Desmodia to finish him off. So then these three are going to go towards the Temple Cutter. And hopefully we can take him out before we get any damage. He's going to prep the Gravity Node. He's got 4. So he's going to spend these on something. Let's just give him the Neural Ring. Maybe if it's still around, Jim can prep a spell off his turn. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very good. Alright, let's see whose turn it is now. It is the Nemesis. We're going to remove this power. I'm going to suffer 2 damage, so Jim's going to suffer those 2 damage again. And discard a card. He can discard this crystal. Remove that one. And our next card is... Oh, Bladius. Immediately, the player with the fewest open breaches suffers 2 damage. So it's going to have to be Dwight. Because I have it. There's a tie. So I'm deciding it's Dwight. The player with the fewest open breaches suffers 2 damage, and he needs 40. He's got 40 health. Ay. So one more Nemesis turn, and I'm going to be toast. Oh, no. He's going to suffer 40 before it. I think I'm going to make it, actually. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Wow. Okay. All right, so that was that Nemesis turn. And next is Nemesis again here. Boom. Power assist. Desmodia's bombardment. Desmodia continues to rise in the air, radiating so brightly it's difficult to look at her. You did well buying us time. Now I can end this. Take care of Gravehold. The cavern walls are rocked to the core as Desmodia releases all of her stored energy at Maelstrom. Okay, and Desmodia does 40 damage. We did it. We took out Maelstrom. Nice. And it ends immediately. I don't have to finish out the turn, I'm guessing. I believe it ends immediately. Let's check on that. And the additional rules. When the game ends, resolve the last card of the assist deck, if able, which basically did that. Then continue reading the front of a Legacy deck. LO3. Okay, so at the end of the game versus Maelstrom, if you won, read the back of this card. Conclusion. You watch from the edge of the caverns as Desmodia faces off against Maelstrom. One bright light against the terrible darkness. Luckily, you managed to do the impossible. Hold off Maelstrom's minions long enough to safely evacuate Gravehold. The survivors huddle behind you, terrified as Desmodia erupts before them. The entire cavern shakes and collapses. Towers fall and buildings crash down upon Maelstrom, burying it underneath a mountain of rubble. Your home, Gravehold, is no more. At least you led many of its citizens to safety. Gravehold is gone, lost beneath the rubble along with your friends, teachers, Desmodia, and most of the other mages. You recognize Mist and Malastar among the survivors, tending to the wounded. Zaxos is among them, his eyes hollow. This is your fault, Mist screams at him, tears in her eyes. Zaxos backs away slowly. I didn't mean to. I was trying to protect us. His words became unclear as a dark breach opens behind him. Close it, Zaxos, Brahma shouts. I beg you. Zaxos vanishes into the void, his last words echoing in the tunnel. I'm sorry. It takes a true ordeal to access your inner power,
Brahma explains. While others search for survivors, you will train with me. Only then will you be able to survive. Observe the survivors of Gravehold.
Alright, so it looks like I got some directions to follow. Follow the instructions at page 20 at the end of the rule book. Okay, so those, after I follow that, each player finds a card that matches their mage from the legacy deck L06 and L13. Alright, so let's do those. Okay, the rules, endgame rules on page 20 were basically reset your starting hand and starting deck, put everything back in the market, and reset your breaches. Those are basically the instructions on page 20. I'm assuming this I'm going to all take down, but that this would be the starting setup for the next chapter. Then I found each player card in the deck. I banished all other cards that didn't have my player's picture on it. Okay, so I'm going to open Insight 1. Okay, and it looks like it's starter card effects. So I'm going to have spells or gems to add to these cards, and these cards are now going to be in my hand, hence the starting hand information. Okay, so each player chooses a starter, one starter effect, and adds it to their card. Place the starting hand sticker over the 4X. So I'm going to start over the starting hand right here, and then I'm going to name the cards, and then I'm going to banish a crystal, and then I'm going to read the back of this card. Okay, I've chosen my card effects for Dwight. I tried to, there's some really good choices. It was a very difficult choice. I tried to do the thing that had the most synergy, which was Dwight is going to, Jim's going to support Dwight in the fact that he's going to focus his breaches so that the effect of Dwight's card can take effect, which would be if you have 3 or more open breaches, gain 1 life. I didn't have any way to gain life in this last one, and that may change based on the market. I don't know well enough if there's like cards that you can buy that get you health, but it just terrified me. It seemed there was another one where like you do 1 damage if you do it to a minion, you get, it's an additional 1 or 2. If it was 2, it'd be 3. That'd be nice. But I just thought life was more important, and then there is some, like, it tells you who gets the damage, but I think there's still, like, there was times I made choices, and Dwight can maybe tank up a little bit here, is what I'm trying to get to, and Jim's going to help him get there. So it's a very synergy thing. I'm going to be playing with these two throughout this whole thing. I want them to work well together. Okay, so by the time we start our next one, I will have named them. If you have any suggestions for a Jim Halpert name of a card and a Dwight K. Schrute name, let me know what you think I should name them. Okay, so I've done everything. I banished a crystal from my hand, and then I need to read the back of this card. And think about how thematic this is. It says that I'm staying back with Brahma to train, and I'm getting new skills here. Very thematic. Okay, so it's going to tell me to banish the Maelstrom, Nemesis Mat, Nemesis deck, and assist cards. So these, and the assist cards are going to get banished. And we're going to stop there because it looks like this next step is setting up my market. So I'm going to start episode 2 with setting up the market, and then reading the beginning of chapter 2. I think this is the stopping point because I don't want to set everything up. I want to just put it away. I think that's going to be a problem. I wonder about storage for this, on how to. Well, if I set up now and put it away, when I get it out, I just need to put everything out. So let's. I'm going to set it all up. You guys don't need to see this. I'll talk you through the decisions about the ones I did not choose. and I'll read the start of chapter 2 obviously when we come back. But I'll take care of the market. All right, guys, that's been episode 1. Pretty good. Great storytelling. It feels like thematic. The decks on the assist deck, the Nemesis deck and the assist deck ran so smoothly together. I've got to get better with my deck building. I'm hoping for a different feel of the market cards. But overall, well played, Aeon Zen Legacy. Well played.